Good morning. It's time for the Tuesday Chew on the 23rd of July 2019. As you can see, we've had a complaint from a customer. The mugs are back. I'd just like to make sure that at least we know our status in the organisation. So we have the usual news, tip of the day, information on the latest How to Succeed podcast. We've got another question. More free stuff. We love to give free stuff away. Matthew has been reading again, Book Boy's been at it. And finally we have the talking pants section, which Matthew got a bit whiny about because he thought he deserved a Mickey. I'm not sure. So Matthew, what have you been up to?
Well, last week I ran my first Sales Foundations module, which was a 2-day boot camp with 11 professionals in the room, all sort of learning during the course of a 2-day session. One of the best takeaways, because we do ask for lessons learned.
Yes, we do.
So the biggest lessons learned over the course of the 2 days. And my favourite one of the whole lot, the magic happens when you shut up. What do you make of that?
Funnily enough, that leads us nicely into our tip of the day. And that would be, if you're talking, you are not learning. If you are talking at them, you are not learning. So, I mean, if you're talking, how can you actually find out the real problem the prospect has and what genuine problem that you might be able to solve? So, if you're talking at them, you are not learning. Matthew?
Absolutely. Listen to understand, not to reply. And that sort of leads us also neatly into doing decent behaviours, doesn't it? Which I think takes us into this week's How to Succeed podcast.
How to Succeed podcast. 300 episodes so far, over 300 million downloads. This week's episode is called How to Succeed Winning at Your Day. Matthew?
Yeah, so this is a 23-minute long episode, so you can fit it into your day very, very easily. It speaks about one of my favourite things about Sandler, which is that we manage our behaviours, not try to manage on results. So too often what we look for in business, as indeed in life, is we look for results, which is fair enough, right? Except for the fact that the results is the one thing that we don't actually have any control over. What we do have control over are the behaviours that lead us to achieve those results. So managing based on behaviours, this is a bit of a methodology about how to do it. Well worth 23 minutes of your time.
It's great, and Hayley's awesome.
Yeah. And you know what? I think we're going to post a link to that down below.
Down below?
Yeah.
Okay. A viewer's question. We have a viewer's question. The question is, I have a person in my team making lots of presentations to prospects, but very few of them are actually converting into sales. Should I get rid of them? Well, it probably not his fault. Well, it might be, but probably not. The thing is, a lot of salespeople are just taught to get out there, present to prospects, show our stuff, show how clever we are, get a proposal. And the thing is, that's just another way of saying free consultancy. And we talked earlier about if you're talking, you're not learning.
Yeah.
And if you're talking at them, you're not learning. And a presentation proposal is a typical scenario where we get sucked into the free consultancy. We're not learning, they are. And it costs us time and effort. So how do we get over that?
Well, it's market research at your cost and their benefit. But if any of that sort of sounds familiar to you, and maybe it doesn't, maybe that doesn't happen in your world. But you know, if it does, it might make sense to have a little chat.
Awesome. Free stuff. Another white paper for you. Key factors that will guide you to success. Understanding how to reach success can sound complicated. We've discovered 9 factors. 9. A big number. 9 key factors that can guide those who are interested in making a difference in their professional and personal lives, that separate those from those who succeed from those who don't. It's a free white paper, another cracker.
Should I post a link? Down below. That's a really good idea.
Down below. Matthew, Book Boy's been reading. What have you been doing?
I've been reading again. So within Sandler, there's 3 core elements to kind of achieving success. So there's your behaviours, there's your techniques, but most importantly, in some respects, certainly in my mind, is the attitude that goes behind it. And there's a lot of emphasis within Sandler on self-awareness. So a lot of the Sandler books are about self-awareness, about keeping your head on straight, but not not a Sandler book as such, but it actually speaks to quite a lot of the things we talk about within transactional analysis, within separating your sense of value within your identity away from your roles and the roles that you play in your life. Is a book called The Chimp Paradox, which is by Dr. Steve Peters.
Yeah.
It's an excellent book. Yeah. If you haven't come across it before, Steve Peters is the guy who was credited with coaching Team GB in the 2012 Olympics to some of their mental behaviours that allowed them to achieve the successes that they achieved during the Olympics. Extremely readable, extremely accessible, and genuinely life-changing. I commend it to you. Available on Amazon. Other booksellers are available.
Lovely. Talking pants.
Talking pants.
Talking pants. Here's one we've heard. It's quicker to do it myself than delegate. And what do you make of that one, Matthew? It's quicker to do it myself than delegate. I mean, you was a manager in the past, as we both were. Quicker to do it myself than delegate. Have you ever fallen into that trap?
I have to confess I have. Yeah, absolutely. Guilty as charged. And you know what? The seductive part of this, and it is seductive, but very dangerous as well, is that in the moment that you say it, you're 100% correct. You're absolutely correct. Right at that time, it is quicker for you to do it yourself than it is to actually teach them how to do it for themselves. The problem is, what you're really teaching them is learned helplessness. What you're really teaching them is that in order to get something done, they have to come to you and you'll do it for them. So in the long run, is it really quicker? Absolutely not.
So, it's quicker to do it myself than delegate. Talking pants?
I can smell something. I think they might be talking pants.
Talking pants.
Ouch.
So, that's it for this week's Tuesday Chew. It's goodbye from me.
And it's goodbye from him.
That's goodbye.